Hey there, Paul from YouTube channel Older is Optional. Today we're going to show you the A's to Z's of going out in the shipping channel to go fishing and to catch big fish. Come with us as we show you all the different ways and all the different techniques we use to go fishing successfully in the shipping channel. The purpose of today's video is for those who've thought about and heard about this shipping channel and wondered what it is. Well, today we want to show you what the shipping channel is, where the shipping channel is, how to get there, what you need, and what to do once you get to the shipping channel to go fishing. It's very important to understand that I am not a guru. I'm just a guide. I'm just showing you some punter like me who took up fishing and we managed to get out to the shipping channel. I'm just going to show you how I did it, how I got help, how I got people to show me how to do it, the types of lines, the bait, etc, etc. Today we're going to show you how to do that, but I'm just a guide, not a guru. In this video today we'll be covering lots of different parts to the whole process. Today we're going to cover when, how, why, what gear, what rigs, everything that we did to have an enjoyable time fishing out in the shipping channel. How about in the comments you tell me, have you been fishing out in the shipping channel? What you would do differently to go fishing in the shipping channel, the things that you do that you might think will be helpful to someone else. Why don't you leave good positive comments in the comments about your adventures and experiences fishing in the shipping channel. What is the shipping channel? Let me read to you a definition. Coastal shipping is the term that relates to the domestic transport of cargo freight between states of Australia and overseas nations via ocean freight vessels, compared to that of road and rail freight. We are an island nation and coastal shipping is very important, and it's important towards Australia's economy, and coastal shipping remains one of the most cost-effective modes for ocean freight from Australia. So long story short, to easily put it, the shipping channel is a channel that's big enough to draw enough water for all the ships that bring freight in and out of Australia, around Australia and overseas. We have many ports in Australia, including Mackay, Gladstone, Serena, Hay Point, Weipa, Fremantle, Bunbury, Adelaide, Portland, Melbourne, and many others. Today we're really talking about the fishing channel that we visit in Mackay. For those who know the area of Mackay, we are talking about the Mackay shipping channel. It is widely referred as the area between Scorfield Island and the Reef that stretches up and down the east coast of Australia. It does go close to reefs like Credlin Reef and Stevens Reef. So to summarise, we're talking about offshore routes that take ships from the ports of Queensland to the rest of the world. The great thing about the shipping channel is it has a constant area of depth. Obviously it has to have this constant area of depth for the major ships to transverse. And the fish that we like to chase like the deeper water, and that's why the shipping channel is such a great place to fish, for its constant deep water. What sort of fish can you expect to catch in the shipping channels? Well, you can expect to catch such fish as reds, nannygai, jewfish, fingermark, coral trout, grassy sweetly and trevally. Some really good fish you can find in the shipping channel with the depths of water that it likes. Now, if you're going out to the shipping channel, you need to be very careful. You need to be aware that it gets very dangerous out in the shipping channel quick and fast. This is not for everyone. If you have a 4 metre tinny, it may not be for you to go out to the shipping channel. There's a checklist for you to consider. Let me go through that checklist with you now. Okay, so to get out of the channel, you've got to be on your best behaviour, i.e. you've got to be safe. It's a long way out there and you need to be really careful. First thing you need to do is make sure you've got a working radio and a radio in to let them know you're heading out, to let them know where you're going, how many people are on board, the name of your vessel, the size of your vessel, and a mobile phone number that they can contact you on. Now, it's really important you let them know when you're going out. Equally, it's important to let them know when you're going back. When you get back, you've got to let them know when you get back. Otherwise, they're going to go searching for you. So I'll show you how to do that. Each area is different. I did a radio course at VMR at the time. It was VMR in Mackay, and this is how they taught us to do it. Each area might be slightly different, but it's just how they taught us to radio in on your way out. So as you're in the boat heading out in the idling zone, check in to the local authority to let them know where you're going, how many on board, when you'll be back, and the name of your vessel. Here we are to do our radio check. So this is how I was taught from VMR 21, the channel 21 in Mackay. Every place may be different, but this is how they taught me. You go VMR 21, VMR 21, VMR 21. This is Boat Hicks, this is Boat Hicks, this is Boat Hicks. They will then say to you, yes, Boat Hicks, go ahead, and you would say, this is Boat Hicks, we're heading out to the shipping channel past Schofield Island for 3 days. We'll be back on the 27th of August. There is 3 people on board. My mobile phone number is 0417 960005, whatever your number is, and my boat rego is such and such. The important part in all that is to say it 3 times. That's what they taught us. Make sure you say it 3 times to give them time to take in all that information. Amount of people on board, when you're going, when you'll be home. And don't worry, they won't steal your fishing spot. They're not into that. They just want to keep you safe. We're just going to go through some quick safety things you need to do. Plan your trip. How far? What sort of kilometres do you get per litre of fuel? So if you're going 100 kilometres and you get 2 kilometres per litre, you would need a minimum of 50 litres plus fuel, and I would take another 50 on top of that to be safe. I have run out of fuel once before. I will never ever do it again. Let me know in the comments if you've run out of fuel. So work out roughly what you need for fuel and then double it, and then you're safe. Because bear in mind, if you're coming back and the weather turns and it's rough and you're just above idle, or you're not quite getting on the plane, you use significantly more fuel, and you need to allow for that. So work out what you need. My rule of thumb, double it, and then you know you're safe. The other thing you need to do is you need to know your tides. High tide, low tide. Up here in Mackay, we have 6 metre tides. So they can have a little bit of a problem, particularly when I launch in the river, to make sure that I can get out and back in. Second to that, if you're going out around the islands, and you need to know your tides, because you can get marooned out on the island. In that, your boat can come out of the water. And you need to be really careful of that. And one thing you need to be careful of is to know the level of tides, because if you're your boat at a really high tide you're more at a really high tide today, and that tide's not going to reach that level for another 4 days, and you get marooned there, you are stuck there for 4 days. Now you may laugh and think, well, that's quite humorous, and yeah, it is, but I have seen it happen. It hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it happen, and it's quite painful and dangerous. So know your tides. Become a weather expert. Get on all the apps and get to know how to read the weather. I didn't know much about weather at all, but I learned pretty fast, because when you get it wrong, it's not a nice place to be. Out in the ocean, shipping channels, when it's good, it's fantastic. But when it's bad and can be very, very dangerous. Get to know, become a weather expert. Get on the bomb, get on these different apps. Find one that you like, and you can read and you can do. Be aware that if you're reading the weather in town and you're heading 50 k's east, that the weather could be different out there. So some of the weather apps will give you wind ratings out 30 and 40 kilometres where you're going. So become a weather expert and understand the weather where you are going, not where you're at. Really important. Before you go out, just do a quick check on your boat. Are there any strange odors, smells coming from your boat? Have you got any faults from last time that you need to fix before you go out again? Inspect your bilge. See what's in the bottom, if anything is in the bottom of the bilge. If it's full of oil, it's full of little bits of metal, you might need to investigate that before you head out. Check the engine, check the batteries. Does the engine fire up before you go to the ramp? Are your batteries fully charged? Just some basic maintenance you need to check, because out there is the last place you want your battery to go flat. So check it all before you go. Have a good look over. Now, there's some safety equipment that you need to have on board your boat. Now, you can get onto Mackay, you can get onto MRQ, Mackay Rescue, and they've got a list on their website of all the things you should have in your boat. If you get pulled over by the police, you'll be checked on this as well. So some things you must have. You must have flares, like this. You must have flares, and you must have 2 red and 2 orange. So you need to have 4 in total, 2 red, 2 orange according to the website, and they must be in date. Now, if I look at these very carefully, these are just, as in the last month, out of date. So I need to replace those. Can't go without flares. You need to have relevant firefighting equipment, a fire extinguisher, a blanket. You need to have, particularly if you're at night, you need to have a signaling device, a torch, a lantern, a glow stick. You need to have that so you can signal where you're going at night. You need to have all the lights on your boat if you're going to be going out at night, particularly if you're camping out overnight like we do, or you're going to spend the night in the shipping channel or head out to the reef. You need to have your lights working. There is nothing worse than when you're hammering out early in the morning, just on the sun rising and it's still dark, and there's blokes without their lights on. It is infuriating and very dangerous. You need to have a V-sheet. You need to have a V-sheet, one of these. On board, you need to have a compass, a basic compass. You need to have enough water. There is limits, amount of water you need to carry. Check that out for yourself, but you need to carry water. You need to carry oars and paddles so you can row if you're, for some reason, oars and paddles. And you need a bilge pump running, or you need something that you can use for bailing the water out. Bilge would be the best. Safety is really important, people. As I keep telling you, and I keep reiterating, I am not a guru, but I do know enough as a guide to tell you, you need to get your safety equipment right. Jump on those websites, check it all out, and make sure you're right before you go. Very important. Maybe in the comments let us know of a time where you got it wrong. Maybe someone could learn from your mistake. Alright, so you've arrived at the fishing channel. What are you going to do next? That's a very good question. This is what I do and what I would recommend that you do. Get one deep diving lure, get one shallow diving lure, and put them out the back, fair distance out the back. And what happens, why you want a deep and a shallow one, is because as we go around the corner, the deep one's down here and the shallow one's up here, and it crosses over the top. So you don't get knots, because the last thing you want in the shipping channel is a big knot. Now you might be asking, well, we've come all the way out to the shipping channel, why are we trolling? Because what you can do, you can troll at about 8 to 10 kilometers an hour, or a bit over 6 knots. And what you can do then is, while you're trolling, you might catch a fish, but watching your sounder. Okay, and every time you see something on the sounder that you like the look of, you mark it, and just go 3 or 4 hours trolling, and then by the time you finish that, you've got all these marks to come back and fish all those marks until you find one that's pretty good, and then you hammer that spot. So, get to the shipping channel, find yourself in the shipping channel. You'll know you're in the shipping channel by your charts. Put a shallow diving. Okay, just to summarise, we've got our deep diving lure, we've got our shallow diving lure. We put them out the back. So as you're trolling along, you're watching your sounders and looking for structure or for fish. You can see there's a fish there. You might mark that. So you mark that, and you mark all the way along. So you go for 2 or 3 hours there along in the fishing channel, marking all the spots that you see something, and then once you've finished trolling, you can see there's something there. So I mark that spot, mark it, and then I've got when I finish my trolling of about 2 or 3 hours of trolling, I look back, I've probably got 10 to 20 marks, so I can go back and check out each of those marks, and eventually you'll find a really good one where there's lots of fish. So what do you want to run when you're in the shipping channel? Okay, well I've told you several times, I am just a guide, not a guru. I'm just going to tell you what I was taught and what I do. And what I do is really simple. Now what we've got here, we've got leader. You want to run about a 60 to 80 pound leader, and I've got 50 pound line. You want to run 50, 60 pound line. So how do I connect my 50, 60 pound line to my 80 pound leader? Well, I've got a special knot to show you. You can, if you want to, go to swivel to swivel. That's a good way. It stops the bait. Luke likes it because when it goes down it doesn't knot up. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, and when you're out there you want to get down as quick as you can, and this saves money not having to have swivels. However, I envisage there'd be plenty of viewers saying you need a swivel. I never use it. I just use this knot how I was taught. So we want to connect our leader to our braid. So we have to get nice and tight, nice and close. So we just do one circle, and we go round and around the mulberry bush. Is that how it goes? Around and around and around 6 times. 6 times, 6 times. Once we get the 6th time, we just go back down through the loop that we made, and we pull that tight. Then we do exactly the same on the leader end. We go make a loop, and when you go round and round and round, you've got to go around both lines. See, you can see the line and both lines, the braid and the lines in there. So go round and round, round and round 6 times. Just pull that tight. We go back down through the loop that we created. Pull it tight, don't be afraid to use your mouth. Bit of moisture on both of those. Pull them together, and Bob's your uncle, they're joined beautifully. Now that you've got that, now what you want to do is now you've done that, you want to put a big ass sinker on the bottom. We would normally put size 6 to 8. Big snapper sinker on the bottom. Easiest way to do that, I find, is just do a 1/2 inch. Just do a 1/2 inch knot. Oops, not doing this particularly well. 1/2 inch knot. Go through the loop, the top, through the hole, feed it back through, and there's your sinkers on, and you can take that off and on very easily. So you've got your sinker on. The next thing you want to do is your hook. I use a size 9 circle hook. And how do you attach the hook? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, we get big loop, big loop, big loop. So we got our loop, and we get these two. We just twist and twist and twist and twist 6 times. Twist and twist and twist. The more the better. So I was saying, if you don't know knots, tie lots. So we got so now we've got that, it's starting to curl up a little bit, but we've got that little hole there. So we take the main bush, the main piece of line, and we go through that gap. And you pull that tight, use your mouth. Bit of moisture. Bob's your uncle. There you got this beautiful loop that you're going to put your hook on. So we grab a hook. So we grab a hook, a size 9 hook. Very important you go this way into the hole, into the eyelet. Don't go that way. Go that way. Then we go through. Okay, so we take our line that's got the loop in it, We put it through our size 9 circle hook, through the other side, and there we go. So now we've got sinker down the bottom, feed through to our hook that hangs off the bottom, and then you do the same thing again. So you can have 2 hooks. That's the great thing about a paternoster rig, is you can have 2 hooks. So you do that twice, 2 hooks, and then for bait, we find the Californian squid works the best, and plenty of it. Californian squid, and then slab bait your, if they're size of course, slab bait your trevallies. They make great bait for Nannygai, great bait. So slab bait your slab bait your trevallies, they make great bait. Mac tuna makes a great bait. Mac tuna makes a great bait as well, slab that. And what's a really good thing for coral trout is if you get a stripey, is to slab bait the stripey, and make sure you go right down into the tail to leave the little bit of tail on it that flaps when it goes down. Coral trout love that. So, paternoster rig, sinker on the bottom, 2 hooks, you got all your knots there to tie that all together. No sinkers, all you got is 2 knots, and you don't need any swivels or anything else. 2 knots, 2 hooks, and 1 big ass sinker, and you're away in the shipping channel. The rod that I got was a Shimano Raider, beautiful, beautiful rod, and that's the bottom bashing rod, I guess, if you will. Really pleased with this rod, and we coupled it with a, I'll just read it to you, sorry, a SW1000 PG Spheros, the 1000 PG Spheros. Originally he wanted me to get the next rod that I've got with the reels, had to get 2 reels, but it got a bit steep and it went over my budget, so he said this was a really good option. We lined it with 50-pound braid, 50-pound leader, and I love this rod. If you keep watching, you'll see me catch a really good spotty mackerel, 90-odd centimetres with it, and it coped no worries. I've caught a shark with it, coped with it no worries. I am being very, very happy with this fishing rod. It pulls in big fish. Oh, that's good. Get this in the way.
Mackerel? Oh, that might be Cobia. Oh, it's a good mackerel, is it?
See it?
Yeah. Spotty. Go easy on him, I reckon now. Looks like it's wrapped yours. Oh, I keep telling you. No problem. If it comes up, you can charge it by it, I'll just scrap it.
Oh man, this way, this way.
That's a good spot.